this lesson, we will be studying about a very important cell organelle named centrosome. Today's In order to give you a clear idea about centrosome, two pictures have been provided to you. One shows the picture of a non-dividing cell and the other is a dividing cell. These are the picture of the animal cell, as centrosome is present only in the animal cell. So look at the first picture, non-dividing cell. At the center there is nucleus, and close to nucleus there is a complex at the top of the nucleus. This complex or region has been named as centrosome. So what is centrosome? Centrosome is a region close to the nucleus. What does it consist of? It consists of centroids. You can see in the picture two bluish rod-like structures which are lying perpendicular to each other are the centroids. The picture also shows certain lines, star-like structure coming out from the centroids. These are known as ester. It is made up of fibers known as spindle fibers, and the centroids are made up of tubes known as microtubules. So if we talk about the functions of the centrosome, we can say that centrosome plays a very important role during cell division. What does it do? Look at the second picture of the dividing cell. You can see the number of centrosomes have become two. One at the top of the nucleus and another at the down of the nucleus. What happened? When the cells start dividing, the centrosome divide itself. The centrosome also divide itself. The picture shows you the elongation of the spindle fibers. The star-like structures or the lines elongate itself and it start dividing. So from the middle, slowly the division will going to take place, and this one cell will become two, each possessing one centrosome. So we can say that centrosome plays a very important role in cell division. It starts and it controls the cell division. In order to Here the properties of centrosome and the functions of centrosomes are given in detail. Here video will give you a rough idea of how the cell divide during cell division. Video. Why the plants are so colorful? They have different type of colors: green, orange, red. Which structure impart them this color? This color is imparted by the special type of cells which is present only in the plant cells known as plastids. So here we are going to learn about the plastids property and functions. As I have already said that plastids is present only in plant cells. As human cannot be of different colors, only plant can be. So though there is different type of pigment in the humans which give them different color shades, that pigment has been known as melanin. The organisms which are more darker in color have melanin, and those who have little fair, they have less amount of melanin. So apart from that, the plastids present in plant cells impart colors. They can be of varied shape. Now basis of the colors they impart, they are basically of three types. Number one is leucoplast. Leucoplast is a colorless plastid. It does not give any color. It does not has any pigment which could impart color. Instead, it stores the food, and storage of food is in a form of starch. Second type of plastid, chromoplast. Many flowers of the petals of the flowers, fruits, a varied color, red, yellow, orange. So from where this type of colors comes? From where this color comes? It comes from chromoplast, as chromoplast consists of pigments which impart such colors. And what are those pigments? One is xanthophyll, which is imparting yellow color, and the other is keratin, which impart the orange color. Keratin can be found in carrots. Now there is another type of pigment known as anthocyanin. Many flowers and leaves are bluish purple in color. It is because of the presence of anthocyanin. Anthocyanin is basically not a type of plastid, means it is not included in the pigment category of plastid, but it is only imparting color. It is dissolved in the cell sap, the liquid solution of the cell. Now the third type is the most common type, chloroplast, which impart the green color to the plants. It consists of the pigment chlorophyll, and you well know about the functions of chlorophyll. So this is all about plastid. The picture shows nucleus, which is the most important part of the cell, the most important organelle, or you can call it as the brain of the cell. It is because its function is similar to the brain of the body. Now where the nucleus is located? It is located in the center of the cell. And how many numbers of nucleus are there? Usually it is one in number, but few organisms have two. Few exceptions are also there. So if we look on the structure of the nucleus has a covering outside. As the cell has the covering known as cell membrane, similarly nucleus also has a covering known as nuclear membrane. Cell has a liquid called cytoplasm, semi-liquid in form. Similarly, nucleus also have a liquid inside known as nucleoplasm. Inside the nucleus, there is another structure, round structure known as nucleolus. The nucleus consists of nucleolus. This nucleolus can be one or more than one in number. It consists of certain structures which look thread-like in appearance. These structures are known as chromatin fibers. Now they remain as thread-like structures until the cell divide. During the resting stage of cell, that means when the cell is not dividing, it appears like thread-like, very thin, and can be called as chromatin fibers. But when the cells start dividing, what happens? These fibers, these thread-like structures, start becoming thick, and when it becomes thick, at that time it is known as chromosomes. And the idea of chromosome or the concept of the chromosome will be clear to you in the next slide through a video. Chromosomes consist of hereditary units called gene, and gene possess DNA. As you know that during the process of fertilization, these chromosomes are going to be coming from the parent to the offspring or to the baby. What happened is, human consists of 46 chromosomes. 23 comes from the mother cell and 23 from father cells. And altogether it becomes 46 in the child. during the process of fertilization. What is the process of fertilization? The fusion of the male and female cell to form a zygote. Now, genes are the structure which are transferred from the parent to the child. That's why the child look similar in appearance to the parents. If the genes would not have been transferred, you might not be looking similar to your parents. It's because of the transfer of the genes, either your behavior or your habits or your face structures look similar to your parent. Which structure is responsible? The genes are responsible. And genes consist of DNA, that is diribonucleic acid. This video will show you the structure of chromosomes. Chromosomes have become thick as the cell division starts. Chromosomes are basically made up of chromatin. These chromatin fibers were thin when the cell was not dividing, but as the cell started dividing, this chromosome, it has become thick and it has formed chromosomes. Now if the video shows you the zoom in picture of the chromosomes, you can see the spiral structures. The spiral structures are the DNA. They are present inside the gene. This we can say that chromosomes consist of genes and genes consist of DNA. Now, on the basis of presence or absence of a well-formed nucleus, organisms can be of two types. We have already discussed about it, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So, the organism which does not have a well-formed nucleus, they have a nucleus in a form of small fragments which together known as nucleoid. It is not well formed, but certain scattered structures are present there. So such type of organism possessing nucleoid are known as prokaryotes, for example the bacteria, whereas which have a well formed nucleus with all the organelle inside, these are known as eukaryotes, and eukaryotes include all the organism except bacteria. We can The next organelle is nucleolus. Nucleolus is a rounded structure present inside the nucleus. Usually one nucleolus present inside the nucleus, but few organisms as exception have more than one nucleolus. And what are the different functions of nucleolus? As we have talked about the protein synthesis while we were studying ribosomes, that ribosomes helps in the formation of proteins. So nucleolus, what it does, it has a special type of genetic material known as RNA, ribonucleic acid. So with help of RNA, it forms ribosomes, and ribosomes on the other hand, using the RNA, undergoes the process of protein synthesis, that is formation of protein for the body. So we can say that nucleolus allows ribosomes to start the protein synthesis. Chromatin fiber, as we already know, are thin thread-like structures present inside the nucleus. They remain in this form during the resting stage of the cell, that is when the cell is not dividing. As soon as the cell start division, these thread-like forms start becoming thick and it looks ribbon-like. Now they are no more called as chromatin fibers, but they get the special name, that is chromosome. While we were discussing about the other organelles, many times we came across these two terms, granules and vacuoles. So we will be learning what is granule and what are vacuoles. So granule is usually a small particle present inside the cytoplasm. That means these are floating in the cytoplasm. As you can see in the picture, these green color structures, small structures, these are granules floating in the cytoplasm. And what is the use of these granules? These granules are like pockets, small pockets which store the food particles like in the form of glycogen, starch, even they store fat. The white color, clear space which can be seen in the picture is the vacuole. What As the previous pictures show the clear space, those clear spaces are the vacuoles, and vacuoles are spaces which store water and the other substances. Other substances might be the soluble substances like glucose and other ions which are required for the functioning of the cell, and it can be required at favorable time when the cell is ongoing the process and the requirement is needed. These vacuoles provide them with sufficient amount of water and the other soluble substances. So by this we have completed all the cell organelles. We have dealt with all cell organelles.